Uncle Joe back here again. So, been working a little bit this morning on that truck. Cream and Blue 82. Bailey's her name, by the way, in case I haven't mentioned it before. Everybody who knows me knows that. Well, anyway, about time for a trim here, eh? Well, anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video, I guess. Been kind of a tiring morning. Let's talk about quality. And yeah, this is a dead horse. It's been beaten way too many times by people who are way more qualified to speak about it than I am. But let's put up some examples, all right? So, something I've been struggling with for the last year and a half. I used to work for a certain auto parts brand, and they buy certain brand alternators, and it's pretty obvious I'm talking about one of 2 or 3 real big auto parts stores across America, right? Let's just say an annoying jingle and a green colored theme sort of come along with it. Now, I did say I was gonna start shooting in landscape, didn't I? Wonder if that works. Probably not. We'll get to that later. I gotta figure out a stand for this thing first. I apologize, it's been hectic getting this thing sort of going. But let me describe part of the reason why it's not going right now. Start off with a starter. Gone through 24 of them before I stopped counting, just in the last year and some change. And by no means am I running a stock motor in that thing. It's a cammed out 302 bored to 306 running forged internals and, you know, a Wind 174 blower on top. So yeah, it takes quite a bit of torque to start, and once it's started, it's producing quite a bit of torque at idle. That's not lost on me. And the fact that most, if not all, these parts are made in, you know, some imperial child labor factory in China or something like that, that's also not lost on me. But it still just goes to show, you know, exactly how screwed up everything is. So I've actually got a better starter on the way. A performance starter made in the US with much better reviews, much higher quality. Stuff that you'll find at, like, you know, your basic auto parts stores. Chinesium, it'll work for a stock motor for a while at least. You get a lifetime warranty on it if you go to the specific store, and if not, you're getting Duralast or whatever the Napa brand is. Yeah, it's pretty obvious I'm talking about O'Reilly Auto Parts, okay? Anyway, all the parts stores are the same. And, you know, honestly, I don't care about people coming after me financially, because it's America in 2023. I've got nothing. I got nothing, no money to give any of these companies. So it's not like you're getting anything from me. Don't even frickin' try. Anyway, let's start out with this thing. So I'm gonna return it for the warranty, hopefully before O'Reilly's catches on. It's an Ultima brand starter, and according to the part number, if I haven't rubbed it off already, it's like part number November 613160 Alpha. The N stands for new, as opposed to remanufactured or rebuilt. But I'm going to go through a few quality control issues. the diameter is wrong for the motor it's specified for, the motor it's built for. The diameter of these bolt holes is significantly bigger than the starter bolts. And it used to be that I put one of these in and it'd last maybe a month. And I've checked my flex plate. It's in perfect condition. The ring gear's still in perfect condition. I'm actually surprised there aren't any missing teeth on it, because 24 blown starters, there's a couple little burrs on the teeth, but nothing worth mentioning. Nothing that would kill a starter in, a couple of minutes, like this one decided to die in. I took it apart. I wish I would have filmed it, and I wish I would have been able to explain certain things about taking apart, but I just didn't think about it, didn't have the time, didn't really want to either. But there are about 5 things inside of here related to clearance, related to quality, related to just general assembly that kind of show exactly what I'm talking about with quality control issues. But yeah, so with the wrong diameter here, right, and it's marketed for the bell housing on that transmission, like C6. Unless they're lying or, made a mistake. This is the one that goes in. And, I've been using these since long before I rebuilt that motor. It was running stock, First one of these I put in ran, a couple years, But, see, the thing is, like I said, I used to be able to put one of these in and run it for a month, even with that performance motor. This one didn't even last 2 minutes. 5 turnovers is all I got. That was me trying to do ignition timing, because, of course, I had to replace some head gaskets, because I was getting a little bit of crossfire on the between the cylinders. Just typical blown head gasket, just not the not the symptoms you're usually looking for. With the blown motor, you're looking at higher compression, and the combustion seals or the rings on the steel rings on the top of composite gaskets, which I know I should be using MLS gaskets, but they're expensive. Anyway, they just, you just got to replace them, especially with aluminum heads. Aluminum doesn't expand at the same rate as iron. Head gaskets weren't otherwise in too terrible of shape, right? But I've also gone through 3 sets now of Felpro intake manifold gaskets. I honestly would have probably been better off literally just putting the gaskets that I originally had on here that I tossed out back on. But I want to run through this too. This is a set of Edelbrock intake manifold gaskets, and I don't love or hate Edelbrock. I use Edelbrock because I know how to tune those carbs. They're finicky. Once you get them dialed in, they work pretty well, but they're finicky. It's not a Holly, but I'd trust an Edelbrock off-road more than I would a Holly. I like Holly for street performance, right? And obviously that Kindig's going to replace anything else that, anybody would suggest I put on there. And I'm not going with EFI or TBI. Well, anyway, so, and like I said, again, it could be a mistake in cataloging, but these gaskets are both marketed to be the same exact spec. All right. This is actually the 351. I think I got the 302 right here somewhere, but they match up perfectly except for the coolant jackets. But if you take the Edelbrock, lay it on top, the Edelbrock actually measures out perfectly, but you see all the problems here. See how that just don't line up? It's way too small, smaller than the stock size intake runner. Not to mention, well, the intake runners on my heads are pretty close to stock. Close enough that a properly made gasket will seal it up, right? And I'm trying to be careful with these, but yeah, look at that. Center this. This ain't centered. This ain't centered. Let me try to line it up a little bit better, so the understanding's a bit more there. I mean, this ain't perfect, but anybody who does intake manifold gaskets on those old Fords and Chevys, you know, if you know, you know. But look at how terribly these line up. Even the bolt holes don't line up properly. The whole thing is just junk. I know what you're saying, that's a used intake manifold gasket. Well, it was probably only on there for about a good 10 minutes of actual runtime. Now, the ones that I pulled off were Edelbrock gaskets. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about. These actually work. You know, they're good gaskets. The other problem with these gaskets is it's like they screwed up all the sizing, but to make up for it, I guess they decided to add in these embossed metallic seals. I believe that's steel, like a steel crushed gasket style, you know, seal. It's supposed to fit around just barely the outside rim of the head, right? The intake port, I mean, on the head, and seal it up. Well, obviously it doesn't do that because it's too small to fit on the outside of the rim of the port, right? On the other hand, these are properly sized. So, again, Velcro, which used to be okay, you know, lagging behind. Now I hear a bunch of people talk crap all the time about Edelbrock, and like I said, it's not the best carburetor out on the planet, but, you know, for what it is, the fact that they're beating Velcro at a game that they have no right beating Velcro at, that's just disgusting and sad. And like I said, I do like Edelbrock. It's just they're not the top end for performance. Neither is Holley, in my opinion. I'd say the Kendig Predator carburetor beats Holley hands down when it comes to Holley's carburetors. I mean, 390 to 930 CFM, depending on how much you need at any given time based on your actual throttle usage. 1, better gas mileage. 2, better performance, because, well, the actual principles behind the Kendig Predator carburetor are a bit different than your conventional Venturi type carburetor. Anyway, let me wrap it up. That's what I'm dealing with. That's the only reason this thing ain't running, is because it's so hard to find good quality replacement parts. And you know, honestly, that starter down there probably cost me somewhere between 100 and 120 bucks. I think it's 100 bucks. So, cost me about 100 bucks, right? Performance starter I got coming in the mail, 180 bucks. For an extra, 60 to 80 bucks, that's not a bad deal. That's a steal, considering that it's made far higher quality and will, at least hopefully, last far longer than these Ultimas, And it really is sad and disgusting that, that companies are, I guess, allowed to exploit children in China, because that's most likely who's making the parts. And because of that, not only are the materials poor quality, but also the assembly is just all off. Nothing's consistent. I had some Master Pro starter solenoids that I went through like, you know, like candy, because they weren't built properly. They weren't sealed. I tore one of them apart just to find it filled with water. And to clarify, I just put it on. When I first put it on, it worked just fine. It wasn't until it started freezing up last winter, I believe, yeah, it was last winter, that I started having problems with it. And working for the company, like, you'd think they'd admit, you know, yeah, our parts really aren't that good. You know, it's not your fault that you're late to work. We know our parts. Well, yeah, they say, yeah, we know our parts are shit. I mean, behind the customer's back. We know our parts are shit. Ain't gonna help you if you're late. And it's not like I'm giving my boss the address I live at, right? Now, that's well in the past. And I'm not gonna talk too ill about the individual people, at least not unless I feel like I have a valid reason, a very good reason to. Because overall, they're suffering under the same problem. But yeah, alright, I'm gonna let you all go. It's what, 17 minutes now almost? I've been rambling on when I said it was gonna be a short video, and so far, shortest video until now has been, what, 21 minutes or something like that? Nah, doesn't matter. Either way, hope you got something from this. I mean, I don't have the answer, you know. There's no way to fix this. There's no way, there's no way to fix this. There's no way to fix this. At least not that, you know, I have answers to. So I'm not going to pretend that I do. But we need to come up with an answer real freaking quick. Until then, y'all remember to love each other, even if it hurts. And have a blessed day. You know, be happy, be healthy. Just try to do good. If nothing else, just be kind. Be kind. Especially to people who really do need it. Catch y'all next time. Cheers.